This short movie is meant to demonstrate how our proposed app works as our users walk through the city with their mobile devices, or students and scholars use the website. First, users will encounter this early modern map of Groningen, which still corresponds strikingly well to the modern city. Entering the city on board ship from the northwest, we have two options: to make a left towards a carpentry wharf, or to make a right, sailing through the city, going to a place where many ships loaden with valuables from Africa and the Americas would go. Here it is listed as number 80. Its important companion property, number 27, was just around the corner. What are they? We encourage our users to walk over. As the map reveals, these were the West Indian House and the West Indian Storage Facility, the buildings of the Groningen Chamber of the West India Company. These buildings were listed on many maps and always pointed out. The chamber of the company, which seated in the house, had actually been allotted a property taken from the wealthy abbots of nearby Aduard. So what did it really look like back then? When our users stand in the street and hold up their devices, they will see this 18th century image overlaid on the modern cityscape, which is still very recognizable. The big post office behind the primary building stands on part of the property that also belonged to the West India Company. The West India Company marked its properties by affixing its seal above its doors. The man in the right-hand corner is marking the property in another way. And that seal is everywhere in early modern Groningen. It also appears on the ship's carpentry wharf, its main client being the company. Here is a historical view from that wharf, which our users would see when they stroll over. And here's what that view looks like today, still a peaceful early modern cityscape. We also found the seal on this commemorative coin from the collection of the Groningen Museum with which we are working. This coin was minted to celebrate a particularly productive year for the Groningen Chamber, and it was so productive because of one special location: Elmina. We now transport our users imaginatively, narratively, and digitally to Africa. Elmina, as you may know, was on the coast of what was then called Guinea, and is now known as Ghana. The Dutch occupied it and built both a castle and a fort, which we found on all of these images, which would be included in our app. Notice the sluices with which slaves would be transported to the ships that were, perhaps, built in Groningen. Elmina is now a popular tourist attraction, particularly for African Americans. President Obama visited it with his family. This is a painting of the Dutch governor of Elmina, Dirk Vilre. It was painted by Pieter de Wit, we think, in 1669. One sees an opulent chamber with engraved wall coverings, a canopy bed, a globe, and a slave holding up a mirror. One also sees a curious, shady figure in the right background. This is believed to be Willem Godschalk van Fockenbrock, a prolific author whose literary musings were frequently reprinted during the Dutch Golden Age. So what exactly did he write about his sojourns in Elmina? On the left-hand side, he appears initially pleased, writing that de ganse strand van duizenden van zwarten, welkers verf, naaktheid, vreemde posturen, geschreeuw en gejuich met ongehoorde en barbarische tonen mij zo wonderbaarlijk opgetogen maakte, dat ik als betoverd en gans buiten mijzelf verder liep. 3 pages later, the infatuation has worn off, And he writes instead about een zwerm van halfnaakte en koolvervige schimmen die u den gansen dag de oren warm maken met een eeuwig getoet van loeiende horens, daar zij haar art der musicam met het abominabelste geschal des werelds op exerceren. What we believe is different about our app is that it presents you not just with old pictures, but instead with a story. Stories of people, of products, and of ideas. We present maps, paintings, and literature, encouraging contact with, but also analysis of, art. This way of both encountering and interacting with history is a fundamentally new way of presenting cultural heritage.